Hello everybody, and welcome back. Last time, after fighting the two flame dragons, we recovered the Mars star and we learned from the mysterious voice inside Mars Lighthouse that in order to reach the heavens, we have to light the 4 flames. So, that is what we're going to be doing today. And as you may have noticed, whenever we approach any of the symbols on the walls, we have a hidden door. So, similar to Jupiter Lighthouse, Mars Lighthouse also has a couple of towers that are attached to it. Only instead of only having 2, it has 4. 1 for each of the elements. So I figured that we might as well tackle this in the very same order that we tackled all the lighthouses. So we're going to do Mercury first. Fish, with cold courage, they ruled the water. And also, another thing. I think we have had Isaac and everyone out in front for quite some time now. And since we are at Mars Lighthouse, I figure that we might as well give our Mars adepts a chance to shine. Though to be honest, I just want an excuse to listen to Jenna's battle theme. There we go. So, there's actually one enemy that has somehow managed to remain hidden, and this enemy, unlike the Akamana, actually appears, I believe, in every single room of Mars Lighthouse. So we should be running into it soon enough. Oh, speaking of the Akamana. So here we are at the first tower. And of course, since we are in the Mercury section of the lighthouse, we have a sliding puzzle. Alright, yeah, up here. Because we have to create an open flame in order to activate the flame circuit right there. And in a, I guess, callback to Mercury Lighthouse, we actually have a pipe puzzle. Alright, let's see here. I believe we have to use frost on this one first. I do find it rather odd that this particular lighthouse actually has like a small section that is dedicated to all of the other ones. It is almost as if when they designed it, not the game developers, of course, but thinking it from within the actual world of Golden Sun, it would seem as though the people who designed Mars Lighthouse had in mind that whoever visited it will visit it last. I know that it is that way because it is the final lighthouse that you do visit in the game, so of course it having callbacks to the previous ones and a variety of puzzles isn't out of the question, of course. But yeah, another thing that is actually kinda curious, and this becomes more apparent as we continue to explore the other towers, is that if you visit the 4 towers of Mars Lighthouse in the order that I intend to, that is to say Mercury, Venus, Jupiter and Mars, the puzzles do get progressively longer, which makes me think that at some point they intended you to do it in that particular order. Because yeah, the puzzle right here is probably the shortest. Let's quickly set up a shortcut for Blaze, because we're going to be using it quite a lot. Alright, then down here, and I believe we are almost done with the Mercury Tower. Yep, as I mentioned, it is the shortest by far. And here we have a blue flame, and right there we have a wall similar to the one that we saw in the main room. So if you use Blaze, that will activate the flame of Mercury. So now we have to head back. I am hesitant to simply use the retreat synergy, but that takes you all the way outside of Mars Lighthouse, so it might be actually faster to just walk back the same way. Well, there it is, finally. Anyways, that's the enemy that I was talking about. This is the Devil Frog. It is level 35. It has 282 HP, no synergy, 347 attack, 102 defense, 173 agility, and 15 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 25, and a Mercury resistance of 175. And it has a Mars elemental power of 85 and a Mercury elemental power of 115. It normally yields 417 experience points, which then become 542 if we finish it off with a Mars gem. It drops 248 coins, which then become 322, and there is a 1 in 32 chances that then become a 1 in 8 that it will drop an elixir. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Rotten Blood, Trash, and Acid Breath monster skill. So yeah, even though it somehow managed to remain hidden, the Devil Frog is nothing special really. Even though it's a palette swap of pretty much a hidden boss in the first game, well, 2 hidden bosses if you want to count every single enemy in Crossbone Isle as hidden bosses, but yeah. Not much to say about the Devil Frog itself. These random encounters are getting a little bit annoying. I might try and actually use a boil, but I don't know if we're actually at a high enough level for it to actually work. Well, let's give it a try, why not? It does seem to be working. Alright, so that is one flame down. Up next we have Venus, which is represented by man. Mankind, with the power of wisdom, they rule the earth. Alright, let's actually do that again. Alright, and this actually seems more of a callback, or at least this section, to Soul Sanctum, with the very same stone statues. And there's actually something a bit odd here. So, behind the statues there are behind some of them you can find some of the fire spewing statues or heads, and you can actually tell right away where they are, because if you're using move on it and you see those small white and gray pixels show up, that means that there's a stone statue, there's a face right behind it. But for whatever reason, even if you do it on this one, and technically we are still safe because we haven't moved the statue, we still get hit. Not that it matters that much, because you only take like 10 points of damage from the fire, so not too much of a punishment. And we do have a door right there, but there's no reason to go there, as you'll see later. Alright, nothing there. Alright, so it is this one. And this is the actual section that is a callback to Venus Lighthouse. Alright, so before we can move that block that is all the way up, we have to create a path. Alright, done. I do kinda wish that the moving animation was a bit faster. But anyways, there we are. Let's quickly clear up the shortcut right here. And let's actually set up another shortcut for Sam. Alright, there we go. And I do believe that with this we are pretty much, yeah, we are done. Alright, with that, the flame of mankind is lit. Let's actually set up a shortcut for a void. Though I might actually stop using it because if we do run into any firebirds, there's some good EXP. So yeah, right here, this is the door that we saw before, but if we went to there the first time, we wouldn't have been able to advance much because of the statue blocking the way. Alright, 2 down, 2 to go. Bird, on the wings of truth, they rule the winds. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and already set up the shortcut that we will be needing. Okay, so yeah, since this is a callback to Jupiter Lighthouse, we have the cyclone funnels. And right here, we want to take the one on the left. And you're about to see why. Right there. If we took the one on the right, we would have been hit by the flames and fallen down. So now that we have moved the statue, we have to go all the way back and then take the funnel on the right. So in that sense, I would say that the Jupiter Tower is probably my least favorite, because there's a bit of annoying backtracking. Oh, look at that, it actually worked for once. And that is actually rather annoying. Though I may use a gem to remove the evil spirit. Alright, now we can take this. And right there, we have a hover circuit, but it is incomplete. Actually, wait, before we do anything else, do I have tonic? Yeah. Though, will the Devil Frog survive? No, it won't. I'll heal Garrett later, I guess. So right here it is pretty obvious what we have to do. And right here, as soon as you're... Actually no, I was getting ahead of myself. Never mind what I was saying. Now we can complete the circuit. And it is actually faster to just let the flames hit you in the face so you can go down. It's only 10 damage, so no real harm there. Alright, let's use hover. You can actually kind of see the sprites for the flame right on the upper left corner, I believe. You have some tiny sprites out there. So, tiny pixels. Anyway, so right here. As soon as you appear in the very next room, move to either side of the giant dragon, because you're about to get hit in the face with the flamethrower, with the giant fireball. So here we're supposed to just use reveal very quickly. And there we are, at the top. Alright, another flame down. Just one more to go. And it's actually not a bad idea to allow the giant fireball to hit you if you want to just get back down quicker, because it actually takes you to the very beginning of the tower. Yep, there we are. Alright, 3 down, only one more to go. Dragons, burning with might, they rule the fires. Wow, it also worked there. Poor Garrett. Well, at least that actually cured him of the haunt status. All I have to do is just revive him. There we go. Alright, so here we are at the final tower. But before we go in, there's actually a chest to the right of it, which contains the Alastor's hood. So let's quickly go over it, shall we? It has a defense boost of 47, and its side effect is that it can be used from your inventory to pretty much replicate the Condemned synergy, meaning that it might be able to instantly kill an enemy. Alright, let's see. Who do I give this to? I guess Ivan. He has the lowest defense, so I guess I'll give it to him. Alright, so I'm actually getting a little bit bored of just doing the basic attacks, so let's actually do something a bit different and actually use some synergy for once. Though this is probably the worst possible setup against the Minus Warriors, seeing as how they are actually weak to Jupiter. Well, it worked. Alright, here we are. So we have two cracked walls, so of course we have to use burst. And we actually want to go through the one on the left first. Because we have to activate the statue first in order for it to create an open flame. Alright. Alright. So now that we have actually cracked the center wall, we can actually proceed further through the tower. Alright, and here we are, I believe, at the last room before the flame. So right here. I actually want to go all the way here to move this particular statue because it is rather necessary. Can a single firebird appear, please? Anyways, right through here, and now we can actually clear the way through there. Alright, now we have to head back to the pipe that we connected at the very beginning of the room in order to stop the flow of fire through there. Alright. Wow, that was really stupid and unnecessary. Anyways, here we are. Alright, that is the last flame. Let's head back to the main room. Sorry, wrong way. Alright, Jaina, level up. You have proven your worth. The heavens await you. Alright, here we are. So, as soon as we use teleport on the seal here, it will actually take us to the top of the lighthouse. And if we proceed any further from that point, we'll begin the final sequence of the game. And we'll also begin the final boss fight. So, here's the thing. At the level that we are right now, we are, I would say, more than enough to actually take on the final boss. But, as you may have noticed, we don't really have all of the gem of the game. And there are actually a couple of better weapons to obtain, as well as a couple of optional dungeons and bosses to fight. But, if we were to go and fight all of these bosses on the very same save file, by the time we went back here, we will be a bit too strong, so I don't want the final boss to be a complete cakewalk. So I'm going to create a duplicate save file, so that on that save file we're going to do all of the optional content remaining and fight all of the optional bosses, some of which I would argue are considerably stronger than the final boss. And also because I do want to grind everyone up to level 54 in order to showcase all of the synergies and the final ranks of every class. And I believe last time I mentioned level 56, it is actually level 54, so I do apologize for that mistake. But yeah, as soon as we're done with the optional content, we will be coming back here and we will take on the final boss with the very same party at this level. So yeah, we light the 4 flames and we have created the path towards the top of the Mars Lighthouse. Next time we're going to head back to the Great Eastern Sea and tackle all of the optional content. And one final thing, there will be no RNG for this particular episode because, well, there's no real drop that we discovered. But trust me, we will be more than making up for it in the next one. But we'll leave that for next time. See you guys!